Hello, all you beautiful souls, and welcome to Soul Conscious Tarot. We're going to see what's in the energy right now, what we might be experiencing. So, deja vu, repeated patterns. I really feel like this is coming through as almost maybe something kind of you're being tested at this time to see if you passed a lesson, repeated patterns when something continuously repeats and we don't like what repeats in our life. We're like, why does this keep happening to me? I don't get it. I don't understand it. It's because there's something that you were meant to learn from it that you haven't yet learned. And so the universe will keep testing you and keep repeating something in your life until you've learned that lesson, until you've learned whatever that lesson is that you're meant to learn. And somebody can experience the exact same thing over and over again, but you both learn different lessons because it just depends on you individually and the lesson that you needed to learn from it. Because we all sign up for different contracts of things that we are going to learn. That's the karma here. The karmic lesson is something we've signed up to learn in this lifetime. And so until we learn the lesson, whatever that is, what the universe will continue to test us on it, to see if we've basically, did we learn it or not? And then once we learn that lesson, then of course things, open up, new doors open up, because now we're in a different frequency, because our soul has elevated and changed in some way because we've leveled up and learned that lesson that we were meant to learn. Yeah, perspective. See, better off, happiness, clear headspace. I noticed every time I go through a shift, every time I've gone through a progression, and there's many levels of different lessons you can learn and that you can extend through. It's not limited to one or two. I mean, there's many micro, lessons that we go through during a lifetime. And of course, our free will dictates whether we pass those, whether we want to choose to stay where we are or to learn something from the experiences. But if something keeps repeating in your life, it's usually because it's trying to get you to wake up to change in some way. But of course, we continue to have free will, and we can always continue to keep going on the path that we were on. That's our free will. Now, the interesting part is if we choose to learn the lesson, then we end up better off. And usually what that comes down to is we find out, like, by changing that, usually it's something, the way we look at something, it's usually perspective that changes. It's usually us expanding our mind, our consciousness, and opening up our mind to thinking in a new way. And when we do that, then it actually helps us in some way. It may relieve anxiety, it may relieve depression, it may actually, just make you feel more at peace in your life overall. There's different levels here that can happen, for different people. So let's go ahead. I want to split this deck one more time. Where are we going here? There. Okay. Pride. That's exactly what I was saying about free will. Pride is essentially free will. Okay, it's when we think we know better. We think we know what's best for us. It's us not listening, because whenever we're following our pride, we're not listening to our intuition, and our intuition is our inner guidance system. Think of it as our compass, our north node, so to speak. Our compass tries to take us down the path that we're meant to follow in this lifetime, the lessons that we're here, the reason we're here on this planet right now, that we chose this life and this lifetime to live during this particular time of, in the continuum, in the timeline. We chose to be here at this time, and there's a reason for that. And so we can listen to our soul, we can listen to our intuition, who is trying to guide us, or because we have free will, we can therefore choose to do what we feel is right, which is usually our head, listening, logic, thinking through things, thinking that we know what's best. And I hate to say it, but the universe is a very complex organism. It's very complex. It's very, 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 very complex. And we don't even know half of what we know. We don't even know a minuscule amount of what goes on in the universe and how to understand things. So it really is comes down to pride getting in the way, where we think we know best. We know better than the universe. We know what's best for us. When in reality, we really don't. Interesting enough. So let's go ahead and oh no, that's not the deck. I want to get our overall energy. I've been using oracles to get the overall energy of the reading. What universe? Can you elaborate on that intro of what you want to tell my collective today? What do they need to know right now? What's going on that they need to know about? What's our overall energy? So our overall energy is encouragement. I actually like this a lot. And 54, which add those together, and that is a 9. So, nines are talking about that we're getting ready to complete a cycle. And I like that this is coming in as the universe is kind of being that parent with the child, saying, you've got this. We believe in you. We believe that you can get through this, that you can level up, that you can make the right decision. Now, I don't want to say right decision, because anything's a right decision. Honestly, you can live your life however you want, however you choose to live it. That's really, that's, like I said, we have free will. We can live however we want to live. But the universe is kind of giving us this gentle, encouraging nuzzle to say, trust and have faith, and in the fact that if you change your perspective, if you're willing to take that risk, if you're willing to grow, that it's going to be worth it. It's kind of like, when a child, when you're a parent with your child, and your child is getting ready to go out on their own for the first time ever. It's very intimidating for that child to have to face, oh my gosh, I have to really be an adult, live on my own, and make my own decisions, and have the responsibility, and it can be overwhelming. And so the universe is saying, I understand this is overwhelming, but it'll be worth it. Whenever a child actually, does end up finding their independence and gets out on their own, and they find their own way in the world, they look back and they realize, oh my gosh, this was so worth it. It was worth this, growing up in that way. It was worth expanding myself in that way. And that's what the universe is trying to say right now, that it's worth it, even though it seems scary, even though whatever you're facing, whatever is you have fears and worries and anxiety about right now, because it's a challenge to you that you've been kind of putting something off. I'm picking up on, there's something that we've been putting off, or we've been afraid to walk down a certain path, even though, like, we're being tugged in that direction, like our intuition is trying to pull us in a certain direction. We're afraid to walk that path, or predominantly a lot of you are probably, there's something that you're longing or wanting to do, but something is blocking you and keeping you from doing that. And that's your fear and ego that is trying to protect you. It's all it's doing. It's trying to say, ooh, that's scary. We don't know that. We don't know what's on the other side of there. Let's stay where we are comfortable. Let's stay where we know what we're dealing with, because it's just so much easier than the unknown, than what is on the other side of that door that we have to walk through. But the universe is sitting here being the loving parent and giving that encouragement of saying, it's okay. Let me hold your hand. We'll walk through this together, and I'll show you that something can be beautiful on the other side of this. So a beautiful, beautiful energy coming through, this very supportive, nurturing energy coming from the universe right now, saying, like I said, that's 54, which is a 9, which talks about, which talks about independence, and I feel like this is like the universe saying, spread your wings, little bird, spread your wings and fly. It's time to fly. It's time to explore new horizons that you haven't explored before. Don't be afraid. So we have the King of Cups here coming out in reverse. Let me go ahead. I want to go ahead and get the cards out. The cards just flying. I think that's the five of swords in reverse. Do I got my card? I know these are all shuffled up, so we'll see what keeps coming out here. I think we'll do a shuffle real quick. Everything's coming out in reverse. That's the Seven of Cups, Justice in reverse. Clarifying the King of Cups, please. I feel like this whole entire deck is upside down, but I know that it's just all mixed up. It's really strange getting this many reverses, but we have the Six of Wands in reverse, the Five of Wands in reverse. All reversals, wow. The Three of Wands in reverse and the Knight of Cups in reverse. Okay, so let's dive into this. This is interesting that everything came in reverse. So with the Six of Wands clarifying the King of Cups, the Six of Wands is usually moving on to calmer waters. And we kind of did talk about, I should have kept those cards out. I cut the deck and I'll never find that card probably again. So we had, where are you? No, it wasn't possibilities. It was perspective, wasn't it? Da 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 da. Past life. I'm seeing all the ones. Yeah, there we go. There we go. I want to pull that out. So, so what I'm getting here is that, like with the King of Cups, and I'm going to go ahead and put that right there. So with the King of Cups being clarified by the Six of Wands, this is telling me the Six of Wands is usually about moving on past something. It's usually we've gained a perspective and we've decided we're growing out of a situation. We're moving away from one situation towards something better, towards something new, something better, something that's more suited for us. But this is coming in reverse, clarifying the King of Cups. So the King of Cups is someone that can be a little bit reserved and guarded. So it's saying, it kind of is coming in as almost a little bit of that stubbornness, the pride and ego that is saying, keeping ourselves in our comfort zone, not wanting to share, how we feel about something, being a little bit closed off in a sense, even though, when the King of Cups is in the upright, it can talk about emotional maturity, but this is talking about, with it being a reverse, kind of emotional immaturity. So it's somebody who is having a hard time, like accepting something or accepting change, accepting growth, accepting that it's time to move on. So it's like kind of somebody that can be a little bit stubborn when it comes to their emotions, like somebody that gets upset when you tell them to, like you try and give them advice and they don't want to listen to the advice because they think they know better, because it may trigger them. This is somebody that's being triggered, okay? Because they know that they need to move on, but they know they need to grow. They need to go and do something else, but they don't want to. They're it's almost somebody that's almost a little bit maybe in denial, or not wanting to grow, not wanting to accept that change. And so that's why the universe is kind of, I like that we have this nourishing encouragement card coming out of as the overall energy of saying it's okay to it's okay to release those feelings. This could actually even talk about like someone who is stuck in a situation that they know is not good for them. For example, a marriage or a relationship that they know is not good for them, but they stay there even though they know they're getting hurt, even though they know that they're upset, even though they know that it's not good for them, and everything is telling them it's time to move on, it's time to get out of this situation because it's toxic for them, it's triggering them and it's upsetting them, but yet they stay. Okay. Because they don't want to move. They want to, they think they're better off being there than moving forward. If hopefully that helps. And then we have the 5 of Wands clarifying the 5 of Swords in reverse. And so this actually is really telling me that it's almost an avoidant uh, energy, in a sense, of somebody who is, that can be conflict avoidant. I'm going to, I just, if I don't address the problem, if I don't hear about the problem, if I don't pretend I don't see the problem, then it doesn't exist. I'm just gonna try and stay in my own little lane over here, and not pay attention, like, not, try and not be triggered. Okay. Like, just pretend that everything's okay. And I'm just going to pretend that everything is okay right now. Even though everything may be falling around, falling away around me, even though things are crumbling, like the foundations are crumbling around me, I'm just going to pretend everything's okay. Especially with, we have the 3 of Wands clarifying the 7 of Cups in reverse, which 7 of Cups, when it's upright, talks about options. It talks about, it can be confusion, but this is, again, it's almost like this narrow-mindedness, because, and it's somebody that's not wanting to look at opportunities. They're not wanting to look at opportunities. They're not wanting to bring justice to themselves. This is somebody that's very stuck. Okay. I don't know if this is resonating with you or not. You'll have to take it how it is. This could be someone connected to you if you came here with somebody on your mind. But this is definitely somebody that is stuck. Somebody that is, and I've seen lots of people that put themselves in this position. If you think about, when you're stuck in a situation, sometimes I've heard this analogy, and I'm sorry, I do not remember who I heard it from. Um, it could have been Steve from Steve's Love Tarot. So I'll give a nod that way because it might have been him, but I'm not 100% sure. So don't quote me on that. But the idea of, like, like, when you're stuck somewhere, sometimes it's like there's this big boulder in front of you and you can't see past the boulder. And it's not that you don't see another way, because you're blocked by this boulder. It's in your way and you can't see over it, around it, through it. So it's like blocking everything out. So you feel like you're stuck when you're really not stuck, and but this is like somebody who is not even trying to look around the rock or trying to find a way around the obstacle. That's why this perspective is important, because we have to gain that perspective to get through those cycles, to get through those lessons, to get through those tests. So it talks about, we have to expand our mind and open our mind to, to new things, to new opportunities, be willing and open to explore new things, because those new things could potentially get us unstuck out of a situation that we're in, if we're willing to open our eyes and look at what's around us. The universe is always giving us signs, and always giving us, always trying to help us understand the way through problems or situations that we're in, but we have to be paying attention and looking for them. And what's coming through here is somebody who is not paying attention to the guidance, to the signs, to the opportunities, to the universe, who is gently nudging, trying to help this, if this is you or whoever's connected or attached to you, their energy that's coming through is trying to guide them, is trying to give them the signs, trying to give them the encouragement to say it's okay. You don't need to stay stuck where you are. We see that you're stuck. We see that you feel that you're stuck, but you're not. It's okay. There is a way through this, but you have to be open to it. And this is someone right now that's not open, not willing to open that door, okay, or is not looking for the door, or not looking for the window, or looking for any way through the situation, because they're not trying to move on. This is someone who may get triggered very easily when it comes to certain topics, certain things. Somebody that could be where you could, when it comes to a certain topic, you might be walking on eggshells around them because they don't want to address it. They don't want to take accountability for they know they're stuck, they know they're unhappy, but they're not willing to do anything about it, and they're not willing to take accountability for where they're at either. It's almost somebody that could be playing a little bit of the victim, but I think it's somebody that just is, like I said, I feel like it's coming through as almost like a denial, like denial of where they're at, or that they're stuck, even though they know they're unhappy, but they don't want to face it because, like I said, there's that conflict avoidant, that's coming through of, I don't want to deal with this, I don't want to talk about it, I don't want somebody else to bring it up. This could be somebody that when they like, okay, say somebody does something that, like somebody you're attached to does something that upsets you. It could be a little bit almost a gaslighting energy, I guess, in a way, where someone connected to you, you're talking to somebody and somebody upsets you, and you confront them with, or you're not trying to rub it in their face or anything, or you remind them of a behavior that they did that hurt you, okay? It's somebody who, instead of, they will get defensive. Instead of saying, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that, and they'll own up and say, okay, I'll do better. Instead of that, it's somebody who gets defensive and gets very upset and angry, like, at you for bringing it up to them, bringing the problem up to them. They don't want to hear the problem. They don't want to hear about it. They don't want to deal with it. That's what I'm getting here, is somebody that's like, I don't want to talk about it, because they know there's like this, inside them is that guilt. They know they did wrong, but they don't want to admit it. They don't want to see it. They don't want to do anything about it. They don't want to change. They don't want to grow. But the universe is saying, the universe is really saying at this time, it's time. It's telling this person, whether it's you or somebody else, and don't feel bad if it's you, if you're resonating with this. Don't feel bad about it. We've all been here. We've all been in situations where our pride and stubbornness has got the best of us, where we have believed we were right in something, or where we haven't wanted to take accountability for something. I'm sorry, but everybody, I don't care who you are, everybody goes through this at some point in their life, or around some type of topic or situation. And if you're sitting there, no, that's not me. Well, maybe you need to, maybe you're falling into this a little bit without realizing it. Just saying. Because that's ego coming through. So what I really feel here is this is somebody who is, in a sense, in that kind of a little bit of victim mentality, not purposely. I don't feel like this person is doing it on purpose. It's just that they don't want to face it right now, is what's coming through. So if this is you, if this is something you're resonating with, this is your wake up call. The universe is saying, hey, there's something you're not wanting to face and deal with. Please deal with it. It'll be better for you. If you deal with this, if you're willing to be strong enough to deal with this, you're going to be better off. You're going to be happier. It's going to make things better for you, because now you will, if you deal with this, you will no longer be triggered. You will no longer, this issue will no longer affect you. And we're here to support you in this growth. We're here to make things better for you. We're here to encourage you to grow in this way. So don't take it personally if this is you and you're resonating. then you're here for a reason, of course. If this is someone attached to you, it may be so that you understand what somebody else is going through, so that you can have empathy and compassion for what they're going through and say, okay, this person is going, like, they may be stuck, and there's nothing you can do about it. All you can do is say, okay, this person's stuck. I understand that now. I understand what's going on with them. I will be more considerate about trying not to trigger them in this way. And, and because you can't, someone that's going through this, there's nothing that you can do or say that is going to change their viewpoint. This is something they've got to come to on their own. This is something that they have to get to a point where they're ready to look at it, they're ready to face it. But the universe is putting things in place, or at least that's what's coming through in the reading, to kind of nudge this person to say it's time to gain this new perspective. It's time to grow on, move on, and grow from this. It's time to get rid of whatever this is that is this block within this person or you or whoever it is. So what I want to do, is I want to go ahead. I want to get 3 more cards here. What do we want to do? Do we want to... I know that opportunities aren't coming in. Let's see if we can get... give me a card, universe, on... Let's dive into what's keeping this person stuck? What is keeping this person stuck at this time? Why is this person not wanting to look at it? What's keeping them stuck at this time? Okay. The Queen of Wands in reverse and the High Priestess. So this is telling me with the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands is usually someone that's very confident and magnetic. So this is somebody that it's telling me that, and I can't dive any further because it threw the High Priestess on what's going on with this person. So I don't want to dive too much deep. But it did bring me the Queen of Wands in reverse first, which is telling me that this person at their core it doesn't have the confidence, because Queen of Wands in the upright can talk about confidence and being confident in yourself, being magnetic, believing in yourself, knowing your self-worth, knowing, what you deserve and going after what you deserve. With this coming in reverse tells me that this is somebody, whether it's you or someone attached to you, that you might just not have you might be a little bit like you don't believe that you can, how do I want to say this? It's like when you start something new, and there's the unknown. It's when there's doubt. There's doubts and fears whether we can perform or whether we can do something, or say you start a new job and it's a new career and a new career field, something you've never done before. There's always that kind of intimidation factor when you first start a job for the first time of, what kind, can I do? Can I perform the job? Can I do it? If I go back to the analogy of a child leaving the home for the first time, becoming an independent person for the first time in their life. And this could definitely apply to that situation. Of a kid, if you're a parent and you're here and it's your child that is not, they're staying at home and wanting to be, live at home, and you're trying to get them out of the nest, or you're trying to kick them out and get them out, become independent on their own. This could be a child that is not wanting to leave the nest because they're too afraid, or they don't have the confidence in themselves that they can do it, that they can be responsible, that there's a strong fear that is at the base of this, that is underlying or is exaggerating this person's confident, their confidence in themselves to be able to move on, to to be able to move past this. It could be somebody who's never lived alone on the, ever, like I said, a child leaving the nest. They don't know what to expect. And that can be very, very scary. It can be extremely scary for them because it's like, oh my gosh, how am I going to, now I got to work. Now I got to pay the bills. How do I do that? I got to manage my money. I got all these responsibilities because now, I got to pay all these bills. I got to keep the house. I got to take care of my laundry, and it can be overwhelming. It can be a lot. And so like there could be the conversations, if this is a parent and child, of, the parent saying, you need to find a job or whatever. And the child's like pushing back against that, giving every excuse in the book of, oh, well, I can't right now, because they're putting it off, or they're trying not to, they're avoiding that conflict. They're not wanting to get, to move on from the situation or move forward in life. They're keeping themselves stuck because they're avoiding the situation. They're avoiding what they need to do. But there's that encouragement from the universe. And if it's a parent child, if you're coming here and this is resonating as, a situation with you and your child, there's that encouragement there, that guidance to say, it's okay. It's okay, little bird. It'll all be okay. It's trying to help this person, believe in themselves and believe and to trust that it'll all be okay. So it's an interesting message. It's not one that I expected. I like at the bottom of the deck was the Knight of Wands here. And I truly believe that, this is what this person needs, like where they need to get to is this energy to embody this Knight of Wands. It's somebody who takes action, who moves forward and takes action in a passionate way. But right now, this person is definitely lacking the courage to do that. They're definitely lacking confidence in themselves. Excuse me, I have air coming up. They're lacking the confidence in themselves to go forward. So interesting reading that came through today. So I hope this resonates with you in some way. If it does, hit the like channel or like channel. Oh my gosh, the like button. If you're not subscribed to my channel, I hope you will. I'd love to actually move forward and help as many people as I can, which is what subscribing and liking my videos, sharing, leaving comments, all that good stuff. It actually just circulates the videos more, so more people get the message. More people that may need to hear it. But my advice here is if this, I feel like the advice here, if you're looking for advice, if you're sitting here going, this is me or someone I know, like a child or something like that, the advice here is just, I think the nurturing encouragement of, if it's somebody that it's not you and it's somebody to have that compassion and empathy for what they're going through and understand it's based in fear. It's a fear of, they may need things that will help them build their confidence. So if it is a child that hasn't left the nest, so to speak, and they're afraid of it, try and find ways to build their confidence, like maybe small things that you can give them that will help them overcome that fear. Be encouraging and supportive and nurturing that confidence around where they feel more confident in stepping out, or taking on those responsibilities in a way that feels comfortable for them. If this is you, it's the same thing. Just be kind to yourself. Understand that you have, that the universe and possibly people around you will support you, that you won't fall flat on your face. Find ways to build your confidence in yourself. Same thing, you may be the one that has to, instead of, helping someone else, you have to implement that for yourself. So I've been using the split decisions deck as a final, if there's a question that you want to ask at this time, yes or no question, we're going to use this and get an answer for you. So think of a question. You can pause the video if you need to. Think of a question that you might want to ask at this time that is a yes or no answer, and we'll see what the answer is to that question you may have. So let's get a card. Let's see what the answer is. The answer is yes. Fitting it all into place, coming together. Yeah. So it's a yes, whatever that is, that you will have to take that how it fits to you. Is that fitting? Yes, it's fitting, isn't it? But that answer, whatever that is, apply it to your situation. That things are coming together and falling into place for whatever it is that you ask. So that's where I'm going to leave this reading. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you so much for coming and joining me and sharing your time and energy with me. I appreciate all of you who do, and thank you so much. I wish you the very best today. Much harmony and gratitude to you, my friends.